Good morning, everybody. We're so excited. My name is Leslie Matt. I'm the Senior Vice President here at TCP Lighting, and I'm excited to have TCP CEO Ellis Yan with me today. Ellis, good morning. Just say good morning.
Oh, good morning, everybody. Good morning. I hope you are all safe and healthy and you had a good breakfast so we can keep our day going.
Okay, so here we go. We are excited to have him with us today, answering some questions. We're practicing some good social distancing here today, so you'll see me kind of going in and out of the camera because I'm trying to keep a good distance from Ellis.
But make sure don't cut your face off.
Oh,
okay?
no one needs to see my face.
No, they
good.
do.
It's
they
good.
Do. Okay, it's good. Okay,
It's good.
let's start.
It's good stuff. So, Ellis, a couple of questions here. What are you most excited about as we come out of our current situation that we're dealing with?
Okay, let me put it this way. I think what we're facing today, it's not economic crisis. It's a medical, it's a virus, it's a coronavirus. I firmly believe the U.S. economy is a solid and strong, which means when this coronavirus stuff is over, it can be overnight the economy is coming back. It could be overnight the electrical contractors need to finish their jobs. It could be overnight will be huge demand of the products in the market. So what I see after this is over, it's not slow warm up. It's overnight. So we have to prepare for this overnight demand, which means inventory. We have to make sure we have enough products. We have to make sure we connect to the contractors to make sure they're able to fulfill and finish their jobs and all the new jobs in the pipeline.
Awesome. So, with that being said, do you anticipate any price increases in the market, just in general, based out of the current situation and kind of what's happening?
It's an extremely good question because I want to share with your guys my inside information because I communicate with the China side daily, every single night, couple hours. So here's my personal opinion. I think what happened right now is because tremendous amount of purchase order from U.S. to China being canceled, a lot. That means make all the Chinese vendors extremely nervous on the other side. With that being said, they become very cautious. Also, they become cautious on the payments, cautious on the demand. So first of all, lots of vendors in China switch to the cash base. And obviously when that happens, just increase the cost. So in my opinion, and then my answer in the first question, when the demand start going up, when the whole thing is over, then you need more products at that time. I think some Chinese vendors potentially will raise the price at that time. So today they're panicking. Couple months from now, when we need a tremendous amount of products, I think they may increase the price. However, from TCP point of view, we will do whatever it takes. We'll do whatever it takes to make sure our customers, our supply, our channels out there will be safe. Number one. Number two is we'll do as much as possible, try to maintain the current cost structure as much as we can. In the meantime, we do a little bit different from everybody else. Instead of just sit tight and not doing anything, our TCP own supply chain continuously to shipping products into US every week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. 3 times we have a containers on the boat, shoots all the way to LA and come all the way to Cleveland, Ohio.
That's awesome. So you made mention about the amount of Chinese suppliers and vendors overseas. Additionally, we've seen a lot of new people enter into the lighting market over the last couple of years. In my opinion, anybody that could make a light bulb was making a light bulb. How do you think that this is going to impact the amount of people that are in the market playing in the lighting space, in addition to how many new, we've seen a lot of big mergers and acquisitions out of the big companies. What do you think is going to continue to happen and evolve now with all the current business conditions?
I will answer that question in the 2 different ways. First of all, as you guys see, sort of like we have a U.S. companies, what I call, okay, like a TCP and all our peers out there. And obviously as big as, let's say, Acuity, Cooper, those are big guys. when we talk about a U.S. company, which means we connect to our customers, we communicate with the market out there. And also you have a bunch of companies come from overseas. They try to establish themselves. The difference between those companies and what I'll call TCP and TCP peers out there is we able to communicate to the market every day. We tell our customers, we tell our electrical distributors how we're going to be moving forward, how we able to help those guys. However, for those guys from overseas, try to establish their presence in the U.S., it's a very, very, very difficult for them to do. So that means for those guys, it will be tremendous amount of hard time for them to survive, in my opinion, okay? However, for us, because the last 10, 20, 30 years, all the networking out there help us to connect to the market. So we believe we have a much better chance to survive through this crisis. Now, that's on the one side. On the other side, let's go back to the question number one, because Leslie's first question is so broad, which means when the time comes, when the virus stuff goes away, at that time, I believe for the U.S. company also will spread, depend on who is well prepared. For whoever well prepared at that time, whoever have enough inventory at that time, who able to service that customer at that time will be a better a survivor than other people in the market at that time.
Great. Awesome. So what do you think that lighting manufacturers like TCP, what can we do to kind of help as far as the current situation? I know we're in this crisis right now. We talked a lot about the future and what could happen, some changes, but what can we do today to help to make sure that individuals are staying safe out there and help at the front lines?
Absolutely. We can do a lot. Remember the business we are in. We are in the lighting business. Okay. Sometimes people forgot lighting is a basic for safety. That's why I always say this. When the God created us, he also created lights. Okay. Why did he create lights? How can we survive in the darkness? Right. So that's what I'm saying. The light is a necessity in our lifetime. So that's why we have to make sure, okay, people have enough light bulbs, for instance, okay? Make sure they have enough stock in their shelf space. I believe we're going to reach out to the hospitals to make sure they have enough TA tubes, this and that, so they never turn it into the dark. So this is the one thing we have to really educate the market to make sure, hey guys, do you have enough light bulbs out there? If you don't, hospitals in their nature, which are helping us to save so many people fighting at the front line, please reach us and we'll reach them to make sure they have enough lights out there. That's number one. Number two is, through this process, as you know, everybody try to make sure we live in a clean environment. That's why we wash our hands, wash our face, okay? We do all those things, okay? So that means TCP right now is fully engaged with UVC products, which UVC products, as you guys know, has a tremendous amount of ability to kill germs. So that's another reason we try to help market to bring the new products in to make sure people are able to use that to clean up the air, to clean up the things using this technology. The third thing we want to help everybody out there is in the next couple of weeks, TCP is going to bring in more than 30,000 masks. We're going to help everybody out there. We're going to help the hospitals. When the things come in, Leslie is going to make arrangement for certain donations we want to do to help people. We just want to make sure everybody out there, especially for those people at the front line, to be protected. Okay, so that's how we see it in 3 different ways to help the market today.
Yeah, I think that's one of the unique advantages that we have as TCP is not only do we, as being a global company, we have access to a bunch of different suppliers throughout the globe, and being able to leverage those suppliers in these types of times to help get things into the country as far as, hey, do you have anything? I think that's one thing that helps to set us apart. What do you think, Ellis?
Correct. Absolutely. We do have, for the last more than almost 30 years, we established a massive supply chain out there. But I hate to put it this way, we know lots of people. We know lots of people, not just for a couple of years. We know those people for 10, 15, 20 years. So that kind of supply chain relationship is so deep, so solid. That's why, go back to your first question, is because of that, our supply chain and our vendors so connected to us. Okay, they depend on us. We depend on them. Okay, so that means I feel very comfortable as we're moving forward into the future. Not just we have the tremendous amount of inventory become available, also we want to make sure every other things will be taken care of. Versus some other people, they just go over to China, try to buy the products on the spot. Those people may have some difficulties at this time because relationship at this point matters.
Now, knowing that this is a global pandemic and that it's impacting us throughout the country, I know we first saw the impact when China got hit at the end of January. What are we doing as TCP, and can you share with our audience today some initiatives that we're taking to help increase production here in the U.S.?
Oh, absolutely. I believe as we moving forward, I'm a firmly believe number one. I think the Assemble the USA, it's a good way. It's a balance. Okay, you need your vendors to help you from overseas side, but also you need to have ability with the flexibility here. So that being said, we're reviewing line by line, and we try to do as much as assembling the program in the U.S. as possible to qualify is what we call ARRA. Okay, and you know that's I firmly believe in that. Okay, it's not just creating jobs in the USA. It's how we service our customers, how we able to be responding time. When I say, hey guys, we're able to ship within 24, 40 hours with a different type of products, the only way to do is make sure we have a components in stock we can put together as fast as we do. The flexibility down the road, I believe, is a huge big service to our customers.
That's awesome. And that's also going to help us increase some jobs as we start to move forward. I know we have a huge team kind of growing out in our production in DC here in outside of Cleveland, Ohio. So I'm excited to continue to grow that and expand upon that.
Okay, Leslie, your team and entire TCP team do an excellent job. Remember, we have our TCP managed warehouse in California, right? And we have here, and both locations right now is a fully engaged. So in other words, we want to make sure everybody's safe. But today we're just really gung ho. We want to make sure TCP is and will be full prepared to make sure when this virus goes away, we want to do whatever it takes to serve the market.
Absolutely. So Ellis, thank you so much today. You know, I haven't seen any questions come in through our chat. So please, if you have questions, feel free to chat them in. We're happy to answer them live. If you're watching the replay of this, please post your questions. I think we're going to keep going with these live streams, maybe once a week, every other week, answering some questions, seeing as things kind of evolve within the market. It's always nice to make sure that we're getting that FaceTime out in front of people. And this is a great way for us to connect to all of you out there. So please post your questions, comments. We're happy to, answer them on future live events. There's one more question I want to ask you today, Ellis.
Sure.
So I've heard you have a really great chicken soup recipe.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I tell you, we love chicken, and we usually every week we buy one roast chickens from the store, right? So what we really do is, like today, believe it or not, I'm going to the store to get another roast chicken. So what I do is I take all the meat out nicely. Okay, and then I take the bone structure. I don't do too much. I will leave some meat on the bone. Then I'll put that bone, into the pot. Okay, fill up a half of the water. Then I put a low heat on. Remember, it's a low heat. You don't want this pot to boil. You just want to have the low heat because the low heat give you the broth, clean broth. Okay, I tell you, those chicken soups are far better than you buy from the chicken broth can. Hey, man, those stuff is no good. Okay.
So the secret is to buy a roast chicken from the grocery store. So support your local grocery store.
Right.
Maintain good social distancing when you go to the grocery store. Use that. Eat your dinner. Eat your roast chicken with your vegetables for dinner. Take the leftover carcass, throw it in a big pot of water.
Yeah,
and
not big pot, half pot of water.
Half pot of water.
The key is low temperature.
Low temperature. How many hours?
It's like 3-4 hours.
3-4 hours.
Just leave over there low temperature. You will find out the broth is so clean, nice, clean broth. I tell you, you will love it.
And then you just season that broth with some salt and some rosemary, whatever your favorite spices are.
Yes, no. Usually I don't do that.
No?
No. The broth has to keep as a broth, okay?
Okay.
Until you make other, you
Okay.
use the broth to make your vegetable soups. Like I love the noodle, okay? So I'll put the broth into my the Chinese noodle, okay? And just make a nice noodle soup.
Awesome.
Okay? Low temperature. That's the key. Be patient. Takes 3 to 4 hours.
So
Okay.
with that, we're going to be patient with our soup, in addition to being patient as we all work from home, work safely, and maintain good social distancing for those essential businesses out there. We appreciate everyone. Again, thank you for your time. We're looking forward to our next installment. Thank you for your comments. We appreciate those. If you were watching the replay again, please post in your comments any questions, concerns, things you'd want us to answer in the future. We look forward to seeing you all again next week. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.